We have to change the program. Now, the first question was, how much money are we going to make? $80,000. How fast are we going to make it? And then how much work do we not have to do? Now, what I'm going to tell you is the rehab up front was going to be a $35,000 expense for you to actually rehab the property. Now, if it was going to be $35,000 for you to rehab, how much money are you going to make? $80,000. It didn't change. Profit is always what is left over. So quickly, and I want you to continue to think as a wealthy person. You have no private money. You've searched. You couldn't find any private investors that would lend this to you. You couldn't find any traditional banking system that would lend the $35,000 to you. You did not have it in savings, checking. You didn't have it within home equity lines or anything else. So it was, I either do not do the deal, which would mean that you don't make how much? $80,000, or I do this deal, but I only have one source to use it. The problem is this one source I'm going to use is a credit card, which is going to charge me an 18% interest rate. Now I'm going to use the credit card for $35,000, 18% interest rate. Is this still a good deal? Should each and every one of you in the room still do the deal? Yes or no?
Yes.
But yet if you went back home to mom and pop, or a friend or family member, or anybody at all, and said, I'm going to use a credit card, I'm going to invest $35,000 of my money on it, and I'm going to get rich, they would all tell you what? You're crazy, that doesn't work, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to tell you this. This isn't being mean to you, it's simple. As a coach, what is my job? To tell you what you want to hear so you feel good about yourself, or tell you what you have to hear so it helps change your life? When you hear what you have to hear, does it always feel good or does it sometimes sting? Do you always get what you have to hear? See, if you think about that, you hardly ever hear what you have to hear. You are usually told what you want to hear. Because people don't want to ruffle their feathers. I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't believe that credit cards are business tools that make you money, you should leave this room. You shouldn't be here. Because you're not equipped to do business. You're not equipped to do real estate. It's very simple. Here's why. What is a credit card? Keep it simple. What is or who is the credit card? Okay, well, it's a loan, but who is it? It's the bank. It's the same place. There is no difference of going into the bank building versus using the actual credit card bank. It is the same exact place, period. Your credit card on the credit card says Chase, Citigroup, Credit Union, whatever it may be. It is the bank. But if you look at from the age of 0 to 18, as we grew up, we said, Mom, Dad, what do I use a bank for? They said checking and savings, CDs, certificates of what? Depreciation. I mean, they are paying 0.3 to 1.2% right now. Your cost of living goes up 2, 3, 4, 5%. You did safely lose your money. But yet the middle class calls that a safe investment. That's just plain, I'm not even going to use the word for it. We are told that the bank is a place at a time we may go to get a car loan, a home loan. Bottom line, we were told it's a place to invest your money, yes? But from 0 to 18, we said, Mom, Dad, what is a credit card for? Well, you use a credit card to buy clothes, furniture, TVs. When you can't afford to pay your bills, you go take a cash advance and pay your bills with it. And you use it for Christmas. And then you get a job, or a second or third job, all year long to pay those debts down, so next Christmas you can charge them up again. And understand, that may not be what all of you were told, but that is what the masses are told around the entire world. Here, doesn't matter if we're talking about Canada or U.S., everywhere I go, it is the same exact story. Now imagine from the age of 0 to 18, I was your dad. Some of you are looking at me and you're like, oh, how's that going to happen? So don't imagine I'm your dad. Imagine Donald Trump's your dad, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, whoever it may be. For 18 years, if we raised you and we told you, credit cards are your friend. Credit cards are good investment tools. They're never used to buy things that you want in life. You don't use them to buy clothes and furniture, things that are going to depreciate and lose money. They are investment tools. You use them for your advertising. You use them to do rehabs. You use them for anything that would make you money, just like the bank does for you. Would the world have a different perception of credit cards? Yes or no? Yes. Bottom line is simple. First of all, when I tell you guys about credit cards, I'm not trying to tell you I want you to go buy a house and amateurize it on a credit card for 30 years. We're not doing that. It's short-term debt. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, maybe 12 months. The bottom line is simple. Any wealthy person in this world, if they were given the choice of I do the deal and make $80,000 because I used the credit card, which was the only opportunity I had, or I don't do the deal and don't make $80,000, what do you think every one of them are going to do? They're going to do the deal. That's why they became wealthy people. They did what everybody else was not doing. They controlled fears that they had. As when I sat where you're sitting right now today, I had $30,000 in credit card consumer debt. I had 2 children, ages 1 and 2 years old. I had 2 jobs, working on average 60, 70, 80-hour weeks. The most I ever put into one work week was 104 hours. I was in the rat race. Now I'm sitting in a class and they're telling me credit cards are good, they're your friend, use them and get rich. When I first heard that, did I go, oh wow, yeah, that makes sense? Or did it freak me out? It freaked me out. I'm looking at the fact, I got $30,000 in debt right now, I don't know how to pay for it. How am I going to, what? Ah! Freaked me out. It was the program. Why did I have $30,000 in debt? I've given you the answer. I told you credit cards were used to do what? Buy things. Christmas. See, I'm an only child. I don't have a dad. Well, obviously I have a dad. Something happened somewhere. I just don't know who he is. I've never met him. I have never seen a picture. So I have mom, only child, period. That's it. And I can tell you that with my mother, it was always, you know, credit cards were for Christmas, and I had more presents than everybody else, and yet we had no money. And she would work a 2nd and 3rd job all year long. So as I got, don't record that. Thank you, though. Thank you. Come back in just like 5 more minutes. So I don't want mom to be more upset than she already is. It's the reality of it, guys. And the reality is when I turned 18, I simply did what I always saw my mom do. It was as simple as that. By the way, when my mom taught me about credit, she said, honey, you're 18 years old. It's time to establish credit. What kind of cards did she tell me to go out and get? She didn't say Visa. She said department store cards because they'd be the easiest ones to get. Look at the logic here. The easiest one to get, so that's why you want to get a department store card where you can go buy clothes or jewelry. How much money is that going to make me? And if you're like many male 18-year-olds, then you have a girlfriend. Valentine's Day is coming up around the corner. So you're like, I bet she's never had anybody that bought her fine jewelry before. I'm going to go out there and get some brownie points here. And then you bought her a nice piece of jewelry. 2 weeks later, she broke up with you. That's a third-party story, because of course that would never happen to me. Twice. 2 years later, 4 girlfriends later, you're still paying for something somebody else has. I'm sure none of you have any idea what I'm talking about. As I did what I was told to do. But if I would have been in position for 18 years to what a credit card truly was, I would never have been in that credit card debt. Now thinking quick on your feet again, how did I actually get out of credit card debt? I used my credit cards to go more in debt to get out of debt. And it wasn't as easy as it sounds. I had somebody there helping me every step of the way, looking at the deals that I was doing, saying, Damien, you're going to be all right. And I'm telling you, for me, when I heard my coach say, Damien,